Go.
Yo, guess who's back again. Sailor Jerry, podcast. All right, welcome to the 2019-2020 Sailor Jerry Saturday podcast.
You had that song planned? You had that song planned?
What up,
I
y'all?
didn't have that song planned. I just always have Eminem in my head, bro.
Oh, okay.
You know that. But
All right.
there's a couple things that I want to go over real quick. As you can see, we have a new member to the podcast team. Everybody say hi to Chris Trickus.
What up, guys?
Hey, bro.
Now,
Hold up.
that's a good segue into why Trickus is here. That's because we've been doing Sailor Jerry podcast for a year. We've been in the Sailor Jerry Saturday Fantasy Football League for about 4 or 5 years.
We need to figure
We
out the
haven't had
exact
any
numbers on
changes.
that.
This is a big year because this is our first time that we have a different person in our fantasy football league.
Yeah, we got a little switcheroo.
Happens to be Billy.
Welcome to Billy.
Welcome to Billy.
He's been trying to get in for a hot minute. He always gets
He's been
snubbed.
trying to get him, but it's okay. He's a bronze
He's
level.
waited. He's
no
putting in
threat.
his time.
He's
Yeah.
no threat. You know, he's an Eagles fan. Nobody really cares.
Yeah,
But
nobody cares.
more importantly, my point, Chris Trickus's arch nemesis, Josh Fideli, is no longer in the league. Trickus,
You
what
know.
do you have to say about that?
All right, so here's the deal. Not only this league, but I was playing in his league last year. I'm no longer playing in that. So this is a Josh-free fantasy football year.
God, that must feel
this is
great
the
for you.
first, since ever, I think. I'm gonna miss it. It's a little bittersweet because I
Yeah.
really do enjoy it, and I think we all enjoy hearing some of the things that Josh says. Even myself. So you know he's going to be missed, but obviously we welcome Billy, and it's going to be a great year.
Yeah, I'm excited. No more Mr. Bully. Instead, we got Mr. Billy.
Yep.
So, once I want to get started, and I want to first review just kind of a little bit on how last year went. I want to go over, standings, year-end ratings, kind of go over where, top 5 position players for, all the positions, and then we kind of can get into that. But first, Keith, do you want to go over the last year's standings and ratings?
Sure. All right. So, last year, obviously, number 1 is our good friend Dorf.
Ooh.
He's currently silver ranking on Yahoo. So good for him. He deserves it. I hate losing, but if Dorf wins, I'm okay with it. He's a good guy.
Who did he have? Gurley?
Yeah.
I remember
he had Thielen and Gurley.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
Makes sense.
Gotcha, Thielen, Gurley.
Because his
I
name
think,
just got you.
yeah, he drafted really well, and then he just rode that all the way to the championship. So I mean,
Adam Thielen was a
obviously,
good player to have.
yeah.
Yeah, you had him in the other league.
Yeah.
Number 2 is myself, currently a platinum rank.
Wow.
But it's cool.
That's platinum. That means you're the top of the top.
Yeah. Obviously, if you're not first, you're last. But I did cash out a little bit, so that makes it.
But if you're last, you're last.
But if
But
you're
if you're last,
Yeah.
you're Trickus.
Yeah. You're
right. Exactly. After that, we have good old Basla, which I hope he pays attention to all this stuff. He never says anything, but I hope he's just entertained by all this.
Are you listening? I called you like 4 times. I texted you like every day for the past like 3 years, and you haven't texted me back, bro. What
For
the hell?
real?
Are you listening?
No way.
Are you at least listening? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I don't know, but I think he texted the group chat twice last year.
Yeah,
Like,
it
it was because he was
during
the
trade
deciding vote
controversies.
for trading controversies because
We had
Trickus kept colluding.
Yeah, dude, you got to watch out for me. I cheat all the time.
For real.
He cheats right to the last place.
I'm planning it right now.
Yeah, that's true. If he truly was
I'm
a cheater,
planning a
he's fucking
trade right
terrible at
now.
it.
He's planning a trade right now.
I'm talking to Dorf. We already got a plan.
Trickus, did you text Billy and ask him who he's taking first?
I already talked to Billy. I discussed it with him. I said, "Who are you thinking?" And he said, "I really haven't looked at it." And I said, "I've been looking at it since the end of the
He's
Super
taking
Bowl."
Zach Ertz.
All right then.
Yeah,
I got a
obviously.
decision.
I would be disappointed if he takes anybody else other than an Eagle. He's not a true Eagles fan unless he
Yeah,
drafts
he's
an
got to
Eagle.
take an Eagles guy, right?
True.
Okay, so behind
Los
Basla,
Angeles.
number 4, we got a good friend, Brad. After him, J-Mo. Trim is currently a bronze on Yahoo, by the way.
I'm looking at
J-Mo
some of the
is
names
gold.
Now. You seen the different names?
After J-Mo, we got Nico.
The juices.
7 was Josh, but he's gone, so, RIP. Talk to you later.
RIP. I think it was a bronze. I don't know, though.
No, he's platinum.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
he definitely went down.
He had won multiple.
Nah, I don't think
times
so.
before
I'm
that.
looking it up right now.
Jake,
No, trust me. I know he was platinum because every chance that he got to rub it in my face.
Yeah,
he
but I'm
did.
thinking he went down to gold.
All right, maybe he did. I hope he did.
your fantasy name is Ra.
Yeah, dude.
Rah.
He's a sun. He's a sun god, bro. Learn your Egyptian.
I know who.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I taught history. I know who Ra is.
Oh, you taught history, so
I know shit.
I know. I know shit.
All right,
I know
so
shit.
Fideli is a gold. I knew he went down.
Oh, he went down. Okay. After Fidelia 8, we have Jagro. At 9, Jagro is a bronze. At 9, have yourself, Jake. You're also a bronze currently.
Yeah.
At 10, we have
Cool.
Ant, Don Juan, and he's platinum. So good
There
for
you
him.
go.
Putting in that work. And behind Quinto at 11 and 12 is Thorpe and yourself, Trickus.
It was a
You
rough
got-
season.
You got a lot of work to do this year, bro.
Yep. I need to pick more players up. I think that's the problem.
Oh, you shouldn't have brought that up, dude. I totally forgot about that. That record
We should do
was
like an
hilarious.
under-over this year.
Under over what for you?
100. It's always 100, but I'm thinking I'm trying to hit like 150 this year.
The Trickus shuffle.
Average is 100.
It's that stupid app you follow. Every time you get
How
a
many-
notification, you go and pick somebody up or drop somebody.
How many times can I
Sometimes
dump
it
my
works
whole
out.
bench and pick my whole bench back up?
Well, if you have players that are just like, man, just, switch them out a little bit.
Yeah,
Switch around.
you gotta show some love to your players. Give them
I
a week.
love my starters.
Yo, Trickus, you growing out your little pube beard?
Yeah, I'm going to put it in like a little rubber band just like you.
Oh, back in the
word.
day. Yeah, I
Those
remember
little
that.
rubber bands you used to have.
I remember that.
Yeah, you guys are so cool.
So those are the rankings, and those are the
Yeah.
year-end ratings from
You
last
turn it
year.
out.
So
Turn it upside down. That's what it's going to be this year.
yeah, well,
Yeah, good luck, dude.
that means I'd be 4th. So I'm not cool with that. But anyways,
Pretty good season, though.
good job, Dorf. Congrats, Dorf, on that victory. He had a good year. But what I want to do next is I want to kind of review the top 5 players of each position, kind of based off of last year's rankings and point system for Sailor Jerry Saturday League. Now, I want to start with QB, quarterback. Now, first we had, everybody knows, Patrick Mahomes. I believe Basla, he was on Basla's team. He rode him to the 3rd place, so he got his money back. But pretty much if you had Patrick Mahomes last year, you were in the playoffs. You had a chance to win. But after that, it was Matt Ryan, Big Ben, Andrew Luck, and Deshaun Watson. So a couple things that I was curious about your thoughts, Trickus. Obviously, Luck is not going to be there. That's
Bye.
pretty obvious. But out of those
Yep.
other 4, do you think any of those 4 can end up back in the top 5 this year?
The one team that I love this year is the Atlanta Falcons. And I know it's every other year
they
they
have a
do
new
good.
coach?
I don't know. But I love Matt Ryan.
You love Matt Ryan?
I love Matt Ryan this year. I do. So I think out of all of those guys, I think Matt Ryan has a shot.
Over Mahomes?
No, not over Mahomes. I mean,
so you're saying Mahomes is a lock for being a top 5 number one, if anything.
100%.
All right. I mean, what about so you like Matt Ryan?
Yeah, Big Ben could always hit it. I mean, obviously the dynamics of the team is a little different this year, but I think Juju's going to step up and he's going to kind of fill that role with, Vance McDonald, maybe some tight ends, but I don't know.
What about Deshaun Watson?
Deshaun Watson, he could. I mean, if he stays healthy.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Big Ben, that was, probably one of his best seasons ever.
It was statistically.
Besides winning, obviously, the Super Bowl that year. But, yeah, statistically, that was like his best season. And he played a full season. Normally, he has an injury. Normally, he's missing 2-4 games with some foot injury or something. Concussion or whatnot, but he had a great year. I personally don't think Big Ben would be back up there. Matt Ryan, I feel like every other year he sucks, so that means this year he's gonna suck. So
this is his bad year, supposedly, but you never know.
I don't think he'll be up there. I think Watson is probably going to be a top 5, but
I mean, you don't see Aaron Rodgers on that list. I think Aaron Rodgers, if he stays healthy,
there.
Yep.
But obviously Mahomes is a lock. So Keith, my question to you about quarterback and Patrick Mahomes, he is obviously the best quarterback in the league by far. He threw 50 touchdowns last year. Chances are he's not going to do that again, but he could get over 40. Do you think a person like Patrick Mahomes, where you can draft him, you have a chance to be in the playoffs just with him, is he worth a first-round draft pick?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Reason being is the quarterback position. Obviously, last year, Patrick Mahomes is a world beater. He could do the same this year. Statistically, he's more likely to slow down a little bit or fall off. Probably still put up great numbers. But also last year, the last, I think, 4 to 5 weeks, Josh Allen led the league in quarterback scoring because he rushed for 100 yards every game. So you can get value from quarterbacks later. If you really want to reach for a Mahomes, you could do that, but I think you're just shooting yourself in the foot, where I would rather have somebody of value at like a specific position.
What if it's like 12th pick?
So here's the way I look at it. You're giving up such a prime spot at the draft. If you have to draft them at 2 or 3, 2 or 3 is where his cost is. Other players that I would draft before him: Deshaun Watson, Aaron Rodgers, Matt Ryan, Carson Wentz, Cam Newton, Baker,
before
Jared Goff,
Mahomes,
before Mahomes. I'm just saying at the draft position that those players are getting drafted.
You're saying at their ADP level.
Yeah, I would rather have one of those players.
So he's not worth it at a 2 or 3 ADP. Those other guys are worth it at a 7, 8, and 9 ADP.
Right. I would almost consider drafting, and I thought about this literally like last pick. I mean, even last pick, you could get a Matthew Stafford or,
Yeah, that's... Yeah.
So, in some leagues, Josh Allen isn't even being drafted, which is, to me, crazy because he didn't even play the whole season. And if he, continued to have the same, type of numbers for every game, he would have been a stud last year.
Right. So, in summation, I hope one of you guys reaches for Mahomes super early. I hope.
Yeah, whoever does. I mean, last year I told myself I wasn't drafting a quarterback until the end, and I drafted Aaron Rodgers as my 3rd pick. So, I mean, you guys were sitting
How'd
there
that work
watching
out?
me do it. It was horrible. It was stupid.
Aaron, all right. Well, now we can go on to the running backs. Yeah. My favorite position, pretty much probably everybody's favorite position, is a stud running back. And I think there's 4 clear-cut studs this year. 4 of them are on this top 5 list.
Yeah.
And then one of them who I'm going to ask you guys about, everybody's up in the air about him this year. But last year it was Barkley for my Giants, then Christian McCaffrey, Todd Gurley, Kamara, and Zeke.
Yep.
Those are top 5. And, I mean, I think all 5 of those guys could be top 5 again this year, without a doubt. So the one thing, I think Barkley, McCaffrey, Kamara, and Zeke, if he actually plays, who knows what's going on with the holdout, but I think those guys are locks for top 5. But Gurley, a lot's been going around with people are just making a big deal about his knee injury, or, they drafted a running back in the 3rd round this year, so they're trying to get depth in the running back position. They're saying he's not going to have as big of a workload as last year. And last year, I think he had like 18 touchdowns or something, or like 20 total touchdowns or something like that. It was ridiculous. I don't think he's obviously going to do that. I can still see him getting, 10 to 12 touchdowns, though.
Absolutely.
Maybe not get as many touches, but because of all the talk about him, do you guys still think he's a top 5 running back, and do you think that he is a 1st round pick?
He's a 1st round pick, but he falls out the top 5.
Yeah, his floor and his ceiling is it's amazing. Like, he could literally be the number 1 running back this year, or he could literally play like 4 games and get injured, or he could even come off the first game and be like, "Oh, I'm not feeling this." And you know what the scariest part is like they do have a backup plan. It's like the team knows that Todd Gurley is not 100%. He's not going to be. And his health, it's never going to be 100%. And that's what people are afraid of. They're not going to pay that 1st round pick. And he's falling in second,
I think what they don't want to happen is what happened last year, where they rode him way too much during the regular season. Playoffs came around. They made it all the way to the Super Bowl, and he did nothing in the Super Bowl. They literally didn't even use him in the most important game of the year. They got him all the way there, and then he was just nothing.
Right. Yeah.
And they lost. Sour. They scored 3 points.
Yep. People are definitely upset about that, so that definitely shows in his ADP. I don't know if I think he still should be drafted, at the back of the 1st, going into the 2nd. I think that's roughly where he should be. So
who do you think comes in at number 5? Who do you think would fill in his spot? I mean, we got a couple good options. David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell.
I was just about to say, a revitalized David Johnson with a new coach, a new system.
Coach, better line.
Possible. It's also possible that the Arizona Cardinals are still terrible, and he doesn't get there.
They did get a new coach that led the league in plays for college, led in plays per game.
Yeah, so he's going to be on the field.
Game, and he loved tossing the ball. He ran an offense that literally just tossed the ball to the running backs.
Right.
I mean, you got about 5 guys that honestly could – I think these 5 guys right here that I'm about to list could be on that list next year when we're talking about this. David Johnson, James Conner, Le'Veon Bell, Devin Cook, and possibly even Nick Chubb. Like, those guys, all of them have the opportunity to hit that number 1 spot. I feel like this year there is a lot more depth in running back than there has been in the past.
For RB1s.
Yeah.
I think so. RB1s, RB2s,
obviously it is nice to get one of those top 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah.
I would say as of right now that it'd be nice to get a top 4 stud.
To me, it's 3.
Well, if Zeke plays.
Yeah, if Zeke plays. Also, we haven't mentioned Melvin Gordon either. He might not play, right? So there's a lot of unanswered questions before
touching Melvin Gordon this year.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, but at the same time, obviously, Melvin Gordon is going to fall late. But if Melvin Gordon all of a sudden falls super late, you have to look at him.
It's holding over a piece of candy to me. Like, I need some candy.
Right. Like last year,
I love me some candy.
I drafted Julian Edelman, and he was suspended the first 6 games of the season, and then he started every game for me for the rest of the season afterwards. Now, obviously, I knew exactly what his, timetable was. It's not the same thing with Melvin, but you have to take a look at him super late. Like, if he's still sitting around, what's he going to put there? Like, you either handcuff your own running backs or you get a Melvin Gordon super late. You got to consider it, I think. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
To me, that's I feel like at the minimum he's going to miss 8 weeks. So minimum he's missing
10
8
is
weeks.
the rule.
So even worse, like, what is Kareem Hunt missing? Was it
Half,
like 8?
8.
Yeah, so like I wouldn't even touch Kareem Hunt. I'm not going to touch Melvin Gordon. There's no way. I don't know. Because it's like, what are you going to have him sit on your bench the entire year? You're just filling up a spot there. You could be moving some people around, making some waiver pickups like I do, you know? Who doesn't want to make some waiver pickups?
Yeah, but who else do you have on your bench then? Latavius Murray?
I wouldn't mind having him on my bench.
All right, let's not get too much into draft strategy right now. But
all right.
For wide receiver, let's go down that list. We had obviously the best wide receiver happened to be Patrick Mahomes, number 1 wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, and then it went Adams, Hopkins, Brown, and Julio Jones.
Yeah,
I think Adams, Hopkins, Jones are going to be top 5 again this year.
Yep.
Hill, that's his ceiling. He could be number 1, but sometimes he could also have a week where he gets 8, 10 points.
Yep.
But at the same time, he could have a week where he gets 30, 40. So his ceiling is literally the top, and that's where he was last year. And then the big question mark there is Antonio Brown. So what do you guys think about that top 5?
I don't think it's a question mark. I think Antonio Brown is going to fall off significantly from his production last year. Derek Carr is not Ben Roethlisberger. And I think what we're going to see this year is we might even see this with Le'Veon too, is that players
it's a system.
Right, exactly. Obviously they're both very, very talented individuals, but you become supremely talented with the right system around you. And
hence Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner.
Exactly. So AB, it's possible that he disappears.
I feel the opposite. I think that AB is going to be at least a top 10. Like, no doubt, top 10. Like, but,
not top 5.
Maybe not top 5, but, like, pretty darn close. He's going to be trailing just a little bit.
Yeah, I think that we can't count him out because he's never not been in the top 5. So you can't count him out. He's still got a high ceiling. Yeah. But at the same time, compared to other years, his floor is not nearly as high as it has been in the past. So that's I don't think it's really his upside. I think that hurts him. I think it's his downside where before, he was getting 100 catches, 1,000 yards, maybe 10 touchdowns, and that literally what he did for like 6 years in a row. I think now he could be, 80 catches, 800 yards, and maybe 6 touchdowns, which is still good, but it's not AB. It's not second round pick.
And I'm going to make a bold prediction right now. What we're going to see is his production slow down. That's going to hurt his ego. He's going to have a meltdown on the sidelines, and Gruden is going to bench him, and he won't even be on the Raiders by the end of the season. He'll be shut down.
I just think the complete opposite. I think he's going to kill it, and I think I don't know. I don't like Oakland. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like go Oakland, but like I think with the team with Josh Jacobs, just like I think it's gonna be interesting. And it's like off field, yeah, he might have his like ego, but like when he shows up, like he's the hardest working player in the NFL, hands down. Like he busts his ass. So like I think he's just gonna show up and just be like, here I am. This is what you wanted. This is what you paid for. Let's show up. I don't know.
Until Derek Carr throws one pass the wrong way and then another pass the wrong way. And then he drops a couple balls. Yeah, we'll see.
I said, I don't love
that's
Oakland.
The thing, man. It's Derek Carr. He just really not that good.
No, he's not.
Antonio Brown can catch a lot of footballs in traffic and make a lot of great catches, but he also had Ben Roethlisberger throwing him dimes left and right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dropping it right in the breadbasket, and he was, and Derek Carr's, who knows? I mean, I don't know. Maybe they have a connection, and we'll see. But on to the tight ends. Same thing with wide receivers. Number 1 tight end. Wow, he's from Kansas City. Kelsey. By far the best tight end he's going to be the best tight end this year. I don't think there's, obviously barring injuries, but then I have Ertz, Kittle, Ebron, and Cook. I think top three, obviously barring injuries, are going to be the top three this year. And then 4 and from there, kind of teardrops, has pretty significant teardrop. Ebron, Cook, I don't think they're going to be in there. I think.
No, I agree.
I think that I don't know exactly who's going to be there. I think it could be anybody, to be honest. There's like a list of the next 10.
I think I wouldn't be surprised to see a Hunter Henry in there by the end of the season.
I like Ingram.
Maybe Njoku in Cleveland.
Yeah, you never know. I mean,
the tight end position is so thin and it's so hard to predict.
I wouldn't be surprised if he had 12 touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
If I don't get Travis Kelce, George Kittle, or Zach Ertz, I'm not drafting a tight end until like later on because it's like the tight end position's so like slim to none.
Yeah.
You
could even see I drafted him last year because consistently he's 8-9 catches a game, but he got hurt. Delaney Walker in Tennessee, Mariota and him they love each other when he's healthy.
Last couple of years he's been doing really well, but I think
he just didn't play all last season, so it's like you don't know. Yeah.
Delaney Walker, because didn't he get hurt?
Yeah, he missed the whole season last year. But before that, he was good for 8-9 catches a game.
Yeah. No, he's a stud. Who knows? If he plays a full season, he could definitely be up there. But next we got defense and kickers. I don't want to go too much into them in our league, just because our league it's pretty much a basic defense and kicker scoring, but I do think there's I think the Bears are still going to be the best defense this year, and then J-Mo's favorite fantasy football player, Justin Tucker, he'll still be in the top 5 for kicking. but who knows? It all depends on offenses as far as kickers go. And then same can be said for defenses.
Yeah.
So, but did you have any input on the defense and kickers?
Nah. I mean, not really. I mean, obviously there was a couple games last year. What's that kid's name? Kaimi Fairbarn or whatever from Houston.
He finished number 1 for kickers. Then it went Tucker, Myers,
there was
Seattle,
I think there was a couple.
Crosby.
Yeah, I think there was a couple games where he kicked like 5 field goals or something like that.
Who do you think is going to get Justin Tucker this year in our league?
J-Mo's going to reach for him.
J-Mo. I remember one year I didn't care and I picked him in like the 10th round just so J-Mo couldn't get him.
Piss him off.
I was like, you know what? I really don't care. I just don't want J-Mo to get him, so I took him in like 10th round. I mean, he's a top 5 lock for a kicker. It's just that you can gather value better than that. But so I'm not going to dive too deep into the defense and kickers, but what I do want to do is go over to wrap it up, talk about some topics. But first, I do want to review the draft order for our 2019-2020 season.
Yeah, buddy.
And what pisses me off the most is Billy comes in and gets first
just
pick,
gets the number 1 spot.
like a toad, like a ding dong that he is. He gets pick number 1, and I hope he messes it up because that would be the greatest thing ever.
He will.
But then after that, we got our boy Trick, Trim, Casey, myself, Basla, Kinto, Nico, Dorf, Grono, Keith, and J-Mo rounds it off at number 12. So we kind of have a little bit of a mixture. I'm kind of in the middle. Trickus is at the top, and Keith is at the bottom. So, as far as my spot, I'm not going to really dive too deep into what I want to do with number 5, but Trickus, I think, is pretty clear what you're going to get. You're going to get one of the top 2 running backs. And in my opinion, that's Barkley and McCaffrey. You don't have to dive which one you want. Trickus, obviously, but he's going to get one of those guys. So congratulations. But
and I'm perfectly happy with that.
And Keith really doesn't have a choice. He's got to play the field at that point. He can't really pick and decide right now. He's got 10 picks in front of him. Obviously, there's going to be 10 studs going, and then he's got to
decide. I like the turn there, though.
Yeah,
I prefer the very end, like the end or the very beginning, like basically 2 or 10. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
you guys got
I'm not
good
mad
spots.
about it.
I don't really like 5, but I'll make it work.
5's tough. I'm not bad about my position, but what I do is completely predicated upon everything that happens before me. So any sort of mock draft preparation,
Right.
assuming that the people in this league are going to draft like regular people, I can kind of get an idea. But if
That never happens.
it never happens,
Keith,
Especially when you get ding dongs like Billy that join the league.
right?
I can tell you one thing: McCaffrey or Barkley will not.
They're not going to be there. Yeah.
Well, I think we all know that.
Yeah.
And then obviously Zeke and Gordon have a huge factor on who's going to drop to you, Keith, and even me at 5. So I think that having Zeke there is a huge benefit to me and you, Keith, in the first round. And then having Gordon there, too, would be a huge benefit for us in the second round. But obviously, we're a week away. So at this point, I'm going to assume nothing's going to happen. I'm going to assume that they are not going to be available.
Yeah.
But I think you guys can feel free to draft them if you want, though.
Late pick.
You have to. I mean, yeah, you could. It's so tough. I mean,
well, Jerry Jones came out with an article today that said
he's fine with him playing.
He was fine with Zeke being fresh for the playoffs.
Yeah, we'll see in the playoffs.
They weren't going to. They were cool with going with their backups and then maybe signing him sometime throughout the year.
He's not budging, dude. Jerry Jones is not budging. He's not going to. He never has. He never will.
Why not, though? I feel like Zeke should be the one time you should.
Because it's about – right now it's a giant dick measuring contest. It's not even about the money. And Jerry Jones – dude, okay, there's a book that my father has. Obviously, everybody knows I'm a Cowboys fan. There's one of the most famous Cowboys coaches.
Measure Your Dick.
It's called Measure Your Dick.
Measure Your Tiny Dick.
Tom Landry, right? Tom Landry is one of the greatest Cowboys coaches of all time. Jerry Jones fired him by landing a helicopter on the green of the golf course that he was playing at, fired him, got back in the helicopter, and flew away. That's the kind of dude. Yeah.
No, that's badass, dude.
That's Jerry Jones. He does not care. So
that's some G shit right there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
I hope he didn't mess up his swing though.
Yeah.
His golf score.
I mean, you just got fired. I mean, my score would be a little different. If my boss just flew in and said, "Hey, dude, don't come in on Monday," yeah, it'd be different. But that's what I'm saying. I would not expect Zeke, unless something happens where Zeke comes to the table and says, "Hey, man, I want to play." Jones isn't going to extend any sort of olive branch to this dude. So you can't draft him. I got all the way to second place because I took James Conner mad late, and he was an RB1 all year.
Yeah.
Right? So
I'll draft him as my second pick, though. But I doubt somebody's going to snag him.
Who?
I think he's still going to go, in the first
Zeke?
round. Yeah, he's going to go in the first round. It's just
you think
who's
so?
Who's going to be the risky one to snag him?
I could see.
You can't take him. How you can't take him? Yeah. How can you take him?
I mean, I hope someone takes him in the first round.
I mean, you do some mock drafts right now. He's still being drafted in the first round. People still think
because people don't know. That's mock drafts.
Yeah. I'm not going to touch him.
Those people for that one mock draft are like, oh, let's see what happens if Zeke comes back and I actually have him on my team. Let's see what it looks like. They don't necessarily think just because people are drafting him in the mock draft trickus doesn't mean he's going to be there.
I'm not using real people. I use a statistical platform that you're.
Yeah, I know what you use.
Statistical.
Come on, bro.
It doesn't matter. So just because your AI draft thing has Zeke in there, you can draft
Zeke. If we were drafting,
take him number 2, dude.
Take him number 2.
You won't do it.
That's where your mouth is. Take him.
You won't do it.
I won't
do it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
I'm just saying he's gonna get drafted in the first round.
Another important point to this whole thing is that's why it is so imperative to draft as late as possible, because you're looking at stuff like this. Also, this preseason, just like every other preseason, is riddled with injuries and early retirements now. So,
Yeah.
you know,
And that's what I wanted to bring up next because there was a
I'm gonna
couple
retire,
big
guys. Can't.
injuries.
playing this year.
One was one big injury was Lamar Miller. Another one, AJ Green. I want to kind of go over those two because I think they're AJ Green, Lamar Miller. Those are some big losses. Obviously, Lamar Miller is out for the season with a torn ACL. AJ Green has a high ankle sprain from like his first practice this year. He is right now. They say it could be 6 to 8 weeks, but then they also say that's the early side. He might not even be here a majority of the season. So
he's done. He hurt his toe he hurt his toe
did he
like
have surgery on it?
Yeah, like week 8 last year and didn't play the rest of the season. He's done.
Yeah, you traded him
he's
to
a
me,
big
and then he got
risk.
injured.
And then
Thanks
Lamar
for that.
Miller, obviously he's out, so that means as of right now, Duke Johnson is the guy. So who knows?
I gotta think they're gonna pick up somebody else.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I gotta
think
think
he should. I mean, he can still be a role player more.
Melvin Gordon.
But what I wanted to end this, I want to have a couple of your thoughts on 3 things. One, what's your guys' prediction on Odell Beckham Jr. this year? Coming from a Giants fan, I want to know what you guys think.
Wow. What do I think Odell?
Do you think
he's going to be a stud?
You think he's going to be a wide receiver lock? Top 5?
I don't know if he goes top 5.
Top 5.
I think he definitely goes top 10. That offense is going to be very exciting to watch. Obviously, he's an elite talent, but so is Jarvis Landry.
Did you watch Baker Mayfield the other day? He was horrible.
Baker has got to prove himself, and I think he will. He's got his head and his heart in it. Whether he has his arm in it is we're going to find out.
That's good in midseason form.
Yeah. There is a lot of talent on that team, and just like in basketball, it's all about touches, distribution, and the defense.
Yeah.
The defense that you're playing against kind of dictates that distribution. So if somebody is, if Jarvis has got a great matchup all game, dude can't touch him. Guess who's going to get 12 catches? Jarvis Landry. But that doesn't mean that Odell doesn't also break one catch for 85 yards and a touchdown. It's going to be, I think it's going to be kind of, it's going to be kind of unpredictable, I think.
That if he plays a full year, which he probably won't, based off of what's happened in the past, if he plays a full year, he could definitely be top 5. But, he hasn't. He gets hurt a lot, hamstring, I think we had a shin injury or calf injury one year, ankle injury.
Yeah, if he stays healthy. If he stays healthy and Baker stays healthy, I think he's going to be a top 5 guy.
Yeah. All right.
I would not be surprised if Jarvis ends up being the higher fantasy point scorer at the end of the season on that offense.
Oh, it's a nice bold prediction. But, all right, so the last 2 things. I think, we were talking about this before.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we need to bring in a Sailor Jerry Saturday championship trophy.
Yeah, that's right.
Into the mix. And I think we can even put the past, winners on the trophy. And then whoever wins this year, they get to hold on to the trophy for the year. And they get their name engraved. But so whoever's listening, let me know what you guys think about that idea. Maybe it doesn't have to be expensive. Maybe we all throw $5, $10 towards it. We can get something more than doable.
Yeah, they have them for like $50 to $100, roughly.
Right, $5-10 exactly. So
so you want to get like an actual trophy, like from a trophy store, or go to like a thrift store and find something ridiculous and deem that a trophy?
A real trophy.
Yeah,
so you want a real actual trophy? Okay.
Yeah.
Or like, what about
like a little like a smaller one that we can like send to each other and it can travel? It
doesn't have to be big. You can have a small one and a belt too if you want. But that's up for discussion. I think once the boys watch this, maybe they'll.
I think it needs to happen. I think it's long overdue.
And I think
backdate it.
Right, backdate it for sure. Yeah. And then lastly, I want to come up. We've been talking about it. We haven't done it. we need to figure out and have a bet for last place. And we need to do it this year. We need to start. So whoever is in last place, not for standings, regular season standings, for playoffs. So it still has implications for, consolation brackets. Last place, you still have to do good. So whoever, because Trickus, I think, finished last, but he wasn't last in regular season standings, but he ended up finishing last. So that means Trickus would have, lost a bet. He would have been the last place this year. So we have to somehow come up with a bet, what's going to happen to last place. So you guys have anything in mind you can think of off the top of your head?
Oh, wow. I'm not going to be there, so I'm not worried about it. But
I really hope you're there.
There's a good friend of ours, Chad Dubio. I talked about this with him. He's had some ideas. There's a thing called the shit shoe, where you have to wear a shoe that's full of shit for a day.
Come on, man.
The worst.
Put somebody in a field and just let everybody shoot them with paintball guns, or throw vegetables at them.
That's tough. Because it can't
have to be in the same place. Yeah,
it can't be something like that. It's got to be something.
Just take him to that Syracuse strip club that you guys took me at for the first time, and just have to have a dance from one of those girls. So that is disgusting.
That is the last thing I'm doing.
Exactly.
I'm never going there.
It's the worst.
But I don't know. I think we'll toss that one to the group chat as well, and we'll see what they come up with.
Yeah, we can figure something out.
I think we should definitely do it.
It's got to be able to. We have to figure out something where we would all be able to witness it. So they would have to broadcast live that they were doing.
Yeah, they should do like a Facebook Live of them like holding a sign that says "I suck at fantasy football," but you have to be in like a super populated place or something like that.
Yeah,
the Carousel Mall, just like walking down. I don't know.
Yeah, we could do that. We'll come up with something. But all right, so just a reminder: the draft is September 3rd. That is.
I thought it was a 4th.
September 3rd. September 4th is the other league.
Yeah.
The other league that I'm in is September 4th.
Oh, shit. All right, then.
Get your weight up, bro.
Now you got to make
a podcast. You don't know when the draft is?
Let me check my calendar, make sure I can come.
Hopefully you can't.
This is why I threw that reminder out, guys.
No one's going to be mad if you can't show up. That's fine.
I think I'm good.
Let's see when it is. Don Juan, draft time changed to September 3rd, Tuesday, 8 p.m.
Word.
So and then that's when it begins. So that's less than a week. And we plan on doing this podcast show every Wednesday. It kind of be, give a little, it'll be after a waiver wire, before the next week starts. But anything to add before we go, boys?
Yeah, I just wanted to say just a quick message to Billy. Welcome to the league. I hope you do terrible. And if I were you, I wouldn't go Zach Ertz at 1. I would probably go Carson Wentz, but that's just me. Good luck, buddy.
Go Miles Sanders. There you go. He'll be the number 1 running back this year.
All right, boys. Till next week.
All right.
Peace
out, yo.
See you guys.